Right now, somewhere inside your skull, a piece of your brain still thinks you are prey. Not metaphorically. Actually. That jump in your chest when a shadow moves wrong. That flinch at a sound behind you in the dark. You've probably brushed it off as nothing. Overreaction. A glitch. But the real answer is far stranger. That flinch is not a glitch. It's a fossil. A leftover survival system from a time when your ancestors were not the top of the food chain. Not close to it. For most of human history, something else was hunting you. For millions of years, you were the one being hunted. Picture the African savanna, 2 million years ago. Open grass, scattered trees, very little cover. Your ancestors walked upright, slowly, with no claws, no fangs, no thick hide. Compared to almost every predator around them, they were slow and soft and painfully exposed. Lions hunted them, leopards dragged them into trees. Hyenas circled at dusk. Even eagles took the smallest and youngest. Anthropologists Donna Hart and Robert Sussman spent years gathering evidence for exactly this picture. Their research, compiled in their study of early hominine predation, found fossil remains of early humans with puncture marks matching the teeth of big cats. Skulls with talon marks from birds of prey. Bones dragged, chewed, and discarded, the same way a leopard discards the bones of any other meal. Your ancestors were not at the top of the food chain. Not even close. For most of human evolutionary history, humans were, quite simply, prey. So how did a slow, clawless, fangless animal become the most dominant predator on Earth? That question sits at the center of everything you are today. The shift did not happen because your ancestors got faster. They didn't. It did not happen because they grew sharper teeth or bigger claws. They never did. The shift happened because of something stranger and slower: cooperation, tools, and fire. Around 2.5 million years ago, early humans started making simple stone tools. Sharp flakes for cutting, heavier stones for crushing bone. These tools didn't make your ancestors physically stronger. But they extended what a soft, weak body could do. A sharpened rock could open a carcass a lion had already killed. A group working together could drive that lion away from its own kill. Slowly, humans stopped being only prey. They became scavengers. Then something more. Around 1 million years ago, control of fire changed everything again. Fire meant warmth. Fire meant light in the dark, the one place your ancestors had always been most vulnerable. And fire meant something else, something researcher Richard Wrangham has spent decades studying. Wrangham's cooking hypothesis proposes that cooked food, made possible by fire, delivered far more usable energy than raw food ever could. More energy meant more fuel for a growing, expensive organ, the brain. A bigger brain meant better tools, better cooperation, better planning. Do you see the pattern forming yet? Small advantages, stacked, generation after generation. None of them made your ancestors physically dominant. All of them made them collectively dominant. Then came something even more unusual: persistence hunting. Humans cannot outrun a gazelle in a sprint. Not even close. But humans can sweat. Humans can breathe efficiently while running upright. Most four-legged predators cannot cool themselves while sprinting for long. They overheat. Researcher Louis Liebenberg documented modern hunter-gatherer groups in the Kalahari Desert doing exactly this. They tracked an animal for hours in the punishing heat, not by outrunning it, but by simply not stopping. Eventually, the animal collapsed from heat exhaustion. The humans, walking calmly the entire time, caught up. This was not brute strength. This was endurance, patience, and knowledge of an animal's behavior passed down through generations. This was hunting through intelligence, not fangs. Somewhere in that shift, the hunted became the hunter. But here's the part almost no one considers: that transformation didn't erase what came before it. It layered on top of it. Your brain still carries the architecture built for being prey. The amygdala, the small almond-shaped structure deep in your brain responsible for detecting threats, evolved long before humans became apex predators. It doesn't know that you're no longer being stalked by leopards. It still fires the same ancient alarm when a shadow moves wrong, when a sound is too close, when you're alone somewhere dark and unfamiliar. That is why your heart jumps at a noise behind you. Not because you're weak. Because a piece of your mind is still running software written for a savanna that no longer exists. Isn't it strange that the most dominant species on the planet still flinches like something smaller? You became a predator without ever fully stopping being prey. And this shows up in more places than dark alleys. Think about why humans instinctively sit with their backs to a wall in a restaurant. Think about why open, exposed spaces at night still feel unsettling, even in a city, even with streetlights, even when nothing is actually hunting you. Think about why a sudden silence in a room can feel louder than noise. Your ancient prey brain is scanning, always scanning, even when there is nothing left to scan for. Meanwhile, your predator brain, the newer layer built on tools and cooperation and fire, is the part planning your next meeting, solving problems, building cities, sending machines to other planets. Two systems, one body, built millions of years apart. Modern psychologists studying anxiety have found something that echoes this ancient split almost exactly. Threat detection systems in the brain respond to perceived danger far faster than the rational, reasoning parts of the brain can catch up. You feel fear before you understand why. That is not a flaw in your design. That is a leftover survival advantage from an era when hesitation meant death. Your ancestors who felt fear first and thought second were the ones who survived long enough to have descendants. The cautious ones lived. The fearless ones, more often, did not. So the anxious part of you, the part that overthinks a strange text message, that startles at sudden movement, that feels uneasy walking through an unfamiliar parking garage at night, that part is not broken.